Hello all. Hope your season 46 is going well. I was finally able to play a bit more today and do a bit of pushing to reach the diamond rank. We'll go ahead and collect this. It's not too bad considering that this is the start of day 4. And I didn't pick up the previous chest, so I did get to bank a few more keys and token. In terms of the key sort of tech changes for me, I did pick up the troop health yesterday, and that got me to around rank 20. And then with the help of the rank chest, I picked up mortars. And then earlier today, I also picked up the GPE node to help me full clear the bases a bit better. I think that is proving okay so far. There's still a few times when I'll fizzle, but that's generally when I haven't managed to hit well, rather than me lacking the tools to get it done. Plus also, I've faced quite a few opponents with 5 ERs, so obviously they have an ER advantage, and it's tough going against them, no matter what. In terms of the log, decent enough log. I was getting close to a boss fight earlier, but then had consecutive losses, and that pushed me back a little bit. So I had to play a bit more than I wanted to, but oh well. So let's go through some of the hits. This is a standard sort of a 4 ER layout most people are running. And I've switched now completely to using 4 heavies and 4 bombers. So I've dropped the board of medic with the help of the troop health that I picked up. And with the slightly extra GPE, I do have a bit more after arting out the critical launches as well. And that's just ensuring I can keep the iron will going to keep the heavies alive for a bit more, which are just essentially distracting all the defenses for the bombers. And generally enough, by the time the hit ends, pretty much all the heavies are done. So I think the 4-4 is a decent enough combination to try out if you folks are also in a similar sort of tech position as me. It does get a bit scary at the end, but the bombers are not really left too much and they have very little health. But as long as you get the ERs down, it's okay. This one I was only able to get 2, and obviously this one I wasn't able to get any. I just fizzled completely, so very poor hit on me. This one I was only able to get 1. Jamar was using tanks and bombers, I believe. And then against Rebel, who was a 5 ER, and we both had really slow clear time, so well played, Rebel. Next one, 214. Another meaty 4 ER. This one also has mortars, so similar sort of tech as me, I think, in terms of defense. I forgot whether he had the troop health or not, but probably would have been a similar spot because you are at similar ranks. So unless he's gone and saving for 5 ER, that might be a different thing. But similar sort of a hit style, just making sure the heavies can last a bit longer with the troop health, and then just flaring the final ERs and hoping the bombers don't get crushed by the time the ER goes down. And I think against 4 ERs that's still okay because obviously the ER health is a bit less. Now this was a poor hit on my side. I went from the side ramp on this one, but luckily the opponent retreated after getting no ERs, so all I needed to do was get a single ER. But it was still close. So I'll just speed up this hit. It's a really good hit. I think it can work, but maybe rifles is a better play to use against the side ramp. The heavies just don't last long enough when coming from that side, especially if that has a lot more defenses. Next up, against the pirate. So this I was able to full clear. So this player has opted to change the sky shield for a shot blaster. So it does make it a bit tricky. And again, I'm going to come from the bottom ramp on this so that I can avoid this particular critical launcher completely while doing the hit. And then I can just focus on the remaining defenses and take out the other two critter launchers, which will slow down the heavies, the bombers, pretty much the entire hit. Then with the extra GB, I can definitely pull off 2 iron wills quite easily now. And after clearing out a lot more of the defenses and probably an ER or 2, that's when I can even fire off a 3rd iron will. So since this boom cannon was a bit further away, I just repositioned my bombers. And there's still a few that it will get, but then I was able to clear down the other 2 remaining ERs quite easily. So against diamond player. I'm guessing he's probably heading towards 5ER if he's already in diamond and saving up the chests and keys. And I think there will be a lot more 5ER players from today onwards. So if you are saving for 5ER, good luck. Hope that helps you push forward. Otherwise, if you're in a spot like me, it might be useful to pick up some 4ER tech to make it easier to get the clears and get the chests done. So I'm not really looking to push too much, but just make it a bit easier to collect the chest and not make it super grindy that I'm only getting 1 ER every few hits or 2 ERs every few hits. This way, at least I can ensure that maybe three hits or so, I can collect the chest and be done with it. That's what is ideal state for me, especially against the bulk of the fizzle meta. Then against Buddha, he also had a shock blaster and he had 5 ERs. So on 5 ERs, I try to see again which ramp to go based upon where the defenses are spread out and where the critter launchers are placed. So I did RT out 1 critter launcher early on, and then there's another critter launcher here which is touching the rocket launcher. So that gave me an extra bonus because then the rocket launcher is not going to trouble my troops, and I got a bit more extra GBE. And with these layouts, as you will see, there's only like 1 more boom cannon in range, which will single shot the bombers. So I just flared my bombers away, and then they can take down those ERs in the amount of time it takes them to take it down. Obviously the ERs are slightly more health, so it's a bit longer compared to 4 ERs, but they get the job done. And then for my boss fight against York, rank 18. Quite similar to the previous hit, apart from it being a 4 ER instead of a 5 ER. Similar sort of a shock blaster placement as well. But this one I went from the bottom ramp again, just to help out my troops a bit more, keep them controlled, and try to avoid all the other defenses on the side ramp. They're kind of like equally split, so you can probably do it both ways, just whichever you prefer. And it was good that the boom cans weren't maxed, otherwise my heavies might be taking a bit more damage. But I think I would still have been able to clear out the opponent. I did get lucky on this, that the opponent did retreat after just getting 1 ER. So I didn't have to push for time. Otherwise, if I would have tried a rush hit, I might have lost a few more bombers and my time would have been a bit slower. But glad to get the win and to collect the diamond chest. In terms of my options now, I don't think I'll pick up any multi-nodes like this at the moment. Medkit is something which would be super useful, but I think it's not an essential item at the moment. And then rifles is probably something which I might consider, because if I go 5ER and Kavan, rifles and Kavan would be such a strong combination. But I'll see. Maybe if I try to collect more chests in diamond, I might have to unlock it to ensure that I can collect in diamond, but otherwise I'll just save those keys and tokens for now. I do want to upgrade my gunboat a little bit, as well as my TBD a little bit, so we'll see. I'm still rocking 40% BH, so it would be good to max that out too at some point in time, and then obviously I can start saving for the rocket launcher upgrades. But mostly it's either probably going to be a case of picking up the rifles or not, or just using the keys to go ahead for 5ER. which I can do in 2 more chests, even if I collect them in gold. So that's not too bad, I think. And then start to see what I can pick up at 5VR. I know there's a few top diamond players who already have reached up till the TD rank, so great job to them. Looking forward to see how they fight up within the legendary tier. But that's about it for today, folks. Hope you found this useful. All the best for your push. See you in the next one.